Today I will show how to simplify a drawer component using something new that just landed in the browsers. It's called starting style. So this is a baseline now, so it's something we can use, and of course Toddle already supports this. So what we want to achieve is something similar to this. So I click this button and we can see this menu comes in slowly from the left side. So this is a traditional drawer component, and if you made these before, you might have done something simpler, something simple and similar to what I have done here. So in this video, I'm just gonna take this drawer component we have here, and I'm gonna change it to use starting style, which is a new thing that just landed in I think all major browsers now, so limited availability, but I think it has mostly support now, and the last few browsers are still working on it, but it will come. So this drawer component that we have here, it uses a variable and uses an unload lifecycle, and this is a trick to make this div kind of scroll in as soon as it becomes visible. So we use the show height here. This is the way we show it. We just set it, and that means it goes from not being rendered at all to being rendered to being in the DOM. And the traditional problem with this is that if you apply a class that says it should be in the left side and move to the right, the browser doesn't really understand like which one to apply first, and that means you cannot really animate something when it first becomes visible. So usually the trick you would do that is you would have some kind of state that is initially false, and then unload, you would wait as little as you can and then immediately apply another class. In this case we set this variable to true, and then when this variable is true, apply a class, and that class then makes it come into view. So you can see we have a translate 0, and on the default one we have a translate minus 100%, so 100% to the left of it. This is okay. It's a bit annoying. There's a bit of overhead and a bit of boilerplate to get this done, but now we have this new tool available. So let's just get to it. The functionality right now is going to be the same afterwards. So we have this, we have just a div with a slat. We can put anything inside of it, and when we toggle it, it moves in slowly. It transitions from into view. So let's see if we can get rid of some of this stuff. And just to show quickly that this it doesn't actually work. So if we set this class immediately, so we said, okay, let's just set it to true. That means this class is immediately set to true. If we go back now and try to toggle it, you will see it will just immediately come into view. There's no transition. Okay, so let's actually start by just removing this variable, because I think we can, and let's also remove this initial switch of the state. So now we have no logic really, so we're gonna stick with purely CSS. Okay, so we have this show class, and let's change this. Instead of using this show class, we are going to use this starting style. This is a work in progress feature. It might not be exactly here, but it's going to be around here when we make it available. So let's say remove the class and say starting style. So starting style, I'll just hover over here. Initial styles to transition from on the first update. So this means it's the style that will come before whatever else styles it has. So if we say initial style is with 200 and the default style is with 100, it will start by 200 and then immediately go to 100. And you wouldn't be able to see anything unless you have a transition set, because then we will have some kind of time in between. They're set infinitely shortly after each other, but just enough for that a transition will work. So before we kind of had the opposite, because we had a default and then we applied another one to it. In this case it's actually going the other way. It starts here and it becomes this one, so we just have to change a little bit of stuff here. So in this one we had translate 0, but instead we're going to make it minus 100%. That means 100% of its own. So you can see it's out here now. It's width. It moves it to the left. And then on the default, which is the one it's going to, we're going to change that to 0. So it goes back to where it should be. And then we have this transition here. And we have it to translate. I think all of this can stay the same. So now we're not using this variable anymore. We can actually remove this class setter here. So it's purely just using this starting style. That's all we're doing here. So let's actually test if this works. I'll just refresh, and we say to a drawer, and it comes in. So let's refresh again. See, it comes in. So this is a really cool thing. I think a drawer is a great example. There's many other cool examples. You can do any dialogue really. You can apply this to and say it should fade in, it should spin around, whatever. We're probably going to use it in the toddle editor for some things. I'm not sure what. We don't want to add too many transitions. But it's really cool. You can read a bit more about it in the official documentation. So toddle always stays very close to the web standards. So what this is just a helper to use this starting style. We just add a simple checkbox for you to apply it. And you could also combine this with some other styles. You can say it should only have this starting style if the viewport is within a certain size or something. That's it. I'm quite excited about this. I'm going to use it all over the place. Try to get rid of as much state logic as possible, because that makes for more scalable, easy maintainable apps.